lost as he is, because the fool doesn't think, he repeats. He doesn't listen, he barks. And he barks with the crowd, with the hysterical certainty of someone who's never dared to doubt. Bonhoeffer, that martyr of moral reason, glimpsed what I see. He recognized stupidity as more dangerous than evil itself. I confirm it. Evil at least has intention, passion, will, but stupidity is pure vacuum. A moral void masked by slogans and smiles. Modern stupidity wears a lab coat, waves a flag, signs, petitions, and believes devoutly whatever it's been told to believe. It's docile, it's functional. It's the slave proud of its chains. And you, yes, you listening, perhaps you've even kissed those chains. Perhaps you wear them around your neck like a charm of good intentions. If this video bothers you, good. Hit like now if you're strong enough, or walk away before your mask slips. Stupidity isn't dumb, it's obedient. The modern idiot doesn't live in ignorance but in cowardice. He's read, he's studied, he's hoarded diplomas, then cast them all upon the altar of social acceptance. He thinks in fear. He acts like a shadow, seeking approval in the group's eyes. The state molds him, religion consoles him, the media lulls him, and he calls that freedom. But what is it if not a perfumed slavery, a prison decorated with hashtags and promises of belonging? I ask you, how many thoughts did you have today that didn't come from an algorithm or a priest disguised as a journalist? I see you on the trains, in the offices, at the schools, marching like ants, all sharing the same opinion, the same indignation, the same rehearsed phrase, and you dare call that a collective conscience? No, my friends, that's the triumph of organized stupidity. Every time you say, I don't want trouble, you murder a thought. Every time you avoid confrontation, you surrender your soul to the collective. You dissolve, and the world applauds your disappearance. Want to resist? Then subscribe to this channel. But be warned, there's no place here for the weak, only for those brave enough to think for themselves and to burn for it. Bonhoeffer said, the stupid cannot be convinced. Of course not. How could you persuade someone who's already exchanged thought for routine, doubt for norm, courage for comfort? Stupidity is deaf because it chose inner silence. The stupid man doesn't argue, he echoes. He is the gramophone of mass culture, the parrot of slave morality. He'd rather be wrong with everyone than right, alone. For being right requires one thing he lacks: strength. Reason by itself saves no one. Only those with the will to power, only those who can bear the weight of their own freedom, can break the cycle. And you still believe education cures stupidity? That teaching is enough to make a man see. Poor fools. Stupidity doesn't spring from ignorance, it springs from the choice not to see. It's a desertion of the soul, a suicide of lucidity. Therefore there is no dialogue with the stupid. There is rupture. You don't debate the herd, you break with it. Whoever wants to think should rise up and leave the tent. The rest, let them stay, consume, vote, indignantly repeat whatever the billboards of public morality demand. But don't complain when your thoughts all match your neighbors. The fault is yours, you wanted safety. Now you have a domesticated brain. Ah, the collective, that fertile womb of stupidity. It's in the heat of the crowd that the individual melts. He dissolves, dilutes, and becomes acceptable. Give a solitary man an idea and he examines it. Give a group an ideology and they shout it as if it were divine revelation. And the louder they shout, the less they think. Stupidity, when organized, not only survives, it imposes itself. It becomes norm, becomes law, becomes public policy. And those who dare to doubt, they're branded mad, extremist, arrogant. I'd rather be a madman free than a domesticated sage. And you? Will you keep pretending you think, or have you realized you only parrot? Look around. See how obedience is celebrated. The model employee, the straight-A student who never questioned his teacher, the faithful one who kneels before he even thinks. All of them applauded fools. Because society doesn't want intelligence, it wants predictability. It wants molded, passive, good people. The last man, as I prophesied, merely blinks, that's all. He neither dreams nor fights nor creates. He only exists and calls it peace. But the peace of the stupid is the tomb of greatness. And if that irritates you, great. Hit like this moment and prove there's still a lightning bolt pulsing in your conscience. Stupidity triumphs not through merit, but through omission. Where are the strong? Where are those who dare think out loud even if it costs them comfort? They have fallen silent. They preferred quiet to confrontation, anonymity to greatness. And in that vacuum of courage, the fools seized the pulpit, the lectern, the screen. They speak, not because they have something to say, but because the true thinkers withdrew. If you still have a breath of will, a spark of creative rage, then stand up. Say something that will cost you something. Otherwise, fall silent with the other cowards. Bonhoeffer believed the stupid could be freed. Such tenderness, what a Christian illusion. Stupidity isn't cured with kindness. It needs to be crushed with contempt. The spirit doesn't ignite with caresses, but with fire. I say, whoever wants to escape, stupidity must bleed for it, must break with the tribe, destroy your idols, lose your friends, win yourself. Freedom isn't a gift, it's a war, and few are willing to wage that war against themselves. So tell me, are you among the few, or will you remain there, domesticated and comfortable with your diploma and your soul sold? Yes, I know, it's easier to be stupid. Stupidity brings applause, positions, followers. The world loves a functional idiot, so long as he obeys, smiles, and never asks hard. Questions. But the man who thinks, who questions, who laughs at public morality, he's a danger. He will be attacked, cancelled, crucified. It was always so, and it will always be so. Because true freedom, that which owes nothing to anyone, is unbearable to collective mediocrity. The thinker is a heretic, and society a smiling inquisition. Which would you rather be, the burned or the executioner? If you've made it this far, perhaps there's still a spark of strength in you. But I warn you, the road ahead isn't paved with approval. It's made of stones. It's the path of the solitary, of the one who tears aside the veil of appearances and sees too much. And what he sees terrifies. For seeing stupidity demands seeing how much of yourself remains shackled, how many inherited beliefs you still nurture as virtues, how many thoughts you never dared question. Look in the mirror, ask yourself, do you think, or merely repeat with prettier words? Stupidity has 1,000 faces. It disguises itself as piety, patriotism, science, tolerance, but at its core it's always the same, an escape from the abyss of freedom. The stupid man cannot bear the void of choosing for himself, so he dons uniforms, parrots statistics, cries out for leaders. He wants a shepherd, he wants a handbook, he wants truth already prepared, packaged, chewed. The idiot doesn't hate error, he hates doubt. And you, who still hear my voice, are you willing to live in blazing doubt? Or will you keep sipping certainties? Like baby food? Ah, how politicians love stupidity. It's the mortar of empires. A thinking people is ungovernable. A stupid people are perfectly predictable. Just promise security, point to an external enemy, offer cheap morality. The recipe is simple and foolproof. Leaders don't need intelligence, they need loyal idiots. They don't govern with ideas but with slogans. They don't need to persuade, they just need to keep everyone too busy to think. And in the meantime, the spirit dies. The future rots and you applaud, like cattle at the slaughterhouse. Don't look at me with that offended expression. I didn't come to please, I came to awaken. If my words wound you, it's because there's still raw flesh beneath your shell of convenience. And that's good, it means you're not entirely rotten. Stupidity is a collective anesthetic, but there's always some pain that slips through, some discomfort that insists. Listen to it. That unease is your soul trying to breathe. Don't suffocate it with distractions. Don't drown it in others' opinions. Nourish it with courage, with rupture, with profound silence and independent thought. The only cure for stupidity is liberation, but not that Christian kind made of redemption and tears. I speak of pagan liberation, fierce Dionysian. To free oneself is an act of violence. It's to spit on the altar of tradition. It's to laugh in the face of the teacher, the priest, the influencer. It's to think with your own blood. You are not born free, you claw. Your way out of slavery, nail by nail, belief by belief. And when at last you stand naked, alone, without support, without morality, without dogma, then perhaps, just perhaps, you are ready to think. Yes, thinking is dangerous. Thinking divides. Thinking makes you an enemy of the world, but also makes you real, makes you alive. When you break with stupidity, you will feel a void, and that void will be sacred. It's the space where dead certainties once dwelled, It's the desert where the free spirit is born. Do not seek to fill that void with new beliefs. Live it, breathe it, become it. For only in the desert does the true will to power bloom, that which creates values, that does not beg for meaning, but imposes it. Be the hammer, not the echo. Be the question, not the answer. Stupidity, finally, is the perfume of the corpse of domesticated humanity. It reeks of conformity, cowardice, spiritual comfort, but you can still escape. If you've come this far, prove you're not one of the living dead of thought. Like this video, share it as a cry. Subscribe to this channel if there's still an atom of rebellion in you, and if none of that moves you, fine as well. For I, Nietzsche, do not speak to everyone. I speak to the few, to the strong, to the dangerous, to those who have already heard the call of freedom and dared to answer.